Peace. How you doing? I'm Trent Sanderson. You're on the infamous Living Realm Network. And what do we always start out by saying? Divine powers are always working for us because we're trying to do right. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a great day. For me, it's actually been a long day because I fit so much different things into this little time frame that we have in what we call a day that, man, I used it to its potential. And let me tell you, I did a lot of different things today. Not going to get into detail, but when you're living in abundance, that's how you have a good day. You put a lot of different things in one day, and you do the same thing next day. You do the same thing next, and it makes you feel like you've lived a very long life. But if you don't have that in your life, you start to want to have that in your life. So let's talk about abundance. First of all, what is abundance? Well, hold on. Let me rewind this. I'm a little bit tired today. I just got through working out at the gym, actually. So if you see me kind of struggling along to get the words out my mouth, then just know that is the case. Anyway, so what is abundance? Abundance. When we think about abundance, the first thing we think about when we think about abundance is money. We think about finances, money, big houses, businesses, the bank account stacked up sky high to the point that we never run out of money. We think about castles, kings, and queens, golds, diamonds, emeralds, and pearls when we think about abundance. But that's not true. Abundance is in everything. It's just that we have to have the perception to see the abundance that is already in our lives here in the everyday world. So, what we're talking about now is speaking abundance in other people's lives. Now, I know you're an abundant person. And if you're not an abundant person, you will definitely be an abundant person by the time this video ends. It's simple because it's all about a belief, a thought, a seed that you plant, you water it, and you watch it harvest right before your eyes. Plant the seed of abundance in your heart. No, speak it into your life as a personal self, as your own entity, your own human being, and you will see different things start to bloom in different parts of your life. And you will become more abundant in all the different things in your life. I don't care what it is. It could be anything, not just money, but abundance is in every sector of your life if you put seeds in every sector of your life rather than just the finances section. Okay, so how do you speak abundance into other people's lives? It's simple. Every time you engage into a conversation with somebody, in order to make that conversation a happy conversation and to brighten that person up, what you want to might start doing is saying good things to that person. While that person's talking, think about some of the good things about that person that you've thought about without you being around that person. And mention some of those things to that person since you have the chance to talk to that person. Your hair is nice. Don't you know that you have such beautiful eyes? Don't you know I love every time you talk. I just love every time you talk. It just makes me bedazzle. I just start melting in my skin when you talk. I don't know why you talk that way, but the way you talk, oh my God, you could be a voiceover for a cartoon. Man, if you start telling people exactly what it is that you perceive them as and what you see them as in your mind's eye, it will resonate with them because we know you're not lying. They know you're not lying. They know it's from the heart because what your intuition and everything in your mind tells you about that person, that bubbles up about that person, everything that tells you about them, it is right and it is not a lie at all. So simply, when you're engaging in conversations with people, rather than always wanting to be the person who makes yourself the most dominant or make yourself the most important in the conversation. Don't you notice when we have conversations with other people, it's always like, well, I did this and 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 I. When we hear them say that, we say, well, I did this and I did this and I went down there and I did this. And they say, I just bought a new coat and it has diamonds on it, it has pearls and it has emeralds on it. And the other person says, well, I bought a golden coat and my husband bought that for me and it is the best coat in the whole wide world. And then you say, Well, my husband bought me a big diamond ring, and it is the biggest diamond ring I ever seen in my life. So it's like we never really pick up the next person. We are always looking down on the next person unconsciously. Like, we're not trying to do this, but that's just our nature of being people. That's how we do. That's how we feel good about ourselves to the next person, because half of the time when we engage in these conversations with these different people that we encounter on a day-to-day basis, we gotta admit we have low self-esteem when we meet brand new people. When we meet strangers, we don't know what their status is, how much money they have, what type of business they own, where they work, who they know. We have an insecure thing about our own being. So we approach the conversation in insecurity. And so when we're having a conversation with the person, it's kind of like, okay, this is us right here talking. This is the stranger. It's kind of like, back down. Back down. Because we think the person is going to gobble us up. But we like, back down. No. But that's not the case. Believe it or not, but the person that you're engaged in the conversation with is usually just as nervous or insecure about their life as you are. So how do we diffuse all of these perceptions? Pick up the next person. You say positive things to the next person. Even if you don't know what to say, just say, hey, just ask them questions like, hey, where did you go to school? Or do you have any kids? Ask questions pertaining to that person's life. That makes that person feel like you're interested in them. And all that needs to be done here is building rapport. All you're doing is letting the person know that you're a friendly, harmless person. You're not trying to harm them. You're very interested in them. And when people's defenses are down, they rise up and they begin to show you their higher self. And you say, oh man, I really, really, really like you now. So make sure you're putting and speaking abundance into other people's life, even in conversations. Another way to speak abundance in other people's lives is if somebody gives you a compliment about something new that you're wearing, or you have a fresh new hairdo and it looks so great, or you have on a brand new pair of shoes and they're the best pair of shoes that person has ever seen. When that person gives you that compliment of abundance, because they're putting abundance in your life to make you feel good about wearing those new shoes, put it back into their life and say, what are those shoes you have on? I don't care if they have mud on them. Just say, everybody have mud on their shoes, but what kind of shoes are those? I ain't never seen those before. Now, of course, not like me. In this situation, you would not be just trying to make the person feel good, but it would be actual. I'm just trying to relate to actual real stuff that you would say to that person. So don't lie to the person. Don't just tell the person something to make them feel good. I'm telling you all this stuff so you can keep it in mind, so that when you do get into these circumstances and situations with the world around you, you can make your world abundant, and you can have people to respect you just because you're not being so self-centered all the time. The whole point of the matter is to break down the self. If you can break down yourself to about this extent, and keep this extent up here for you, break all this down, you will be better off. You will open up the doors for more opportunities. You will start to see the light and the bright and abundance in everybody around you. You won't be so worried about yourself, and if that person is looking at you with good eyes, you know what I'm saying? You will begin to see all the world around you with your great eyes, your high mind, and that's what you want to do. And that's how you want to live your life. You want to live your life in abundance. If you can live your life speaking abundance into other people's lives, God will bless you to live an abundant life as well. It only makes sense. If I was the judge of the courtroom and I had a plaintiff and I had a defendant, and the plaintiff came in and said, hey, I want to speak something into this defendant's life. As a judge, I would say, well, tell him. And then he would tell them. And then the defendant would say, I accept it. I would hit the thing and I would be like, case is closed. Nobody owes anybody anything. It's a great day. Happily ever after. So speak abundance into other people. Almighty, it's so good I can't even get the words out. So speak abundance into other people's lives, and then your life will become even more abundant. Thank you for watching this video. This is Trentus Henderson, and you're on the infamous Living Realm Network. Divine powers are always working for us because we're trying to do the right thing. Thank you. Come again.